Andrea here, and I'm here with Lesley, one of our lovely yoga teachers.
Morning.
Thank you for letting me interview you. I appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, so just some basic questions for you. I guess first, I would love to know do you remember when you first started yoga? Like, do you remember your first class you took as a student?
Yeah, I kind of do. It was a long time ago. It was in the 80s in Scotland, actually. My very first class, it was this studio, tiny little studio in an area called Morningside, and I was always curious about it. And I went, and that was back in the 80s, and it was packed. I remember we were all really close together, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was something totally different, but at that point I didn't continue. It wasn't like the start of my, I'd stopped, I was busy studying and doing stuff and traveling.
Yeah.
So that was my first experience though.
That's cool. I'm curious, is yoga popular in Scotland?
It is, yeah, it definitely is.
Very cool. I've never been. I want to go.
Okay. Seek out a yoga class when you're there.
So that's cool. So after that, how long was it before you started taking like regularly?
Probably, I live in Collinsville, Connecticut, so there was quite a big yoga community when I moved there, which was, it was definitely a long time ago. It was 35 years ago. And there was a well-known teacher, Bev Kent, who I studied with for a while, and initially I went to classes with her in her bedroom, in her home, and then it was in a church basement, and then somebody else's bedroom, and so, until she got a space, but I followed her for quite a bit. She had 2 different spaces in Collinsville, so I would attend with her back in the 90s, 2000s, early 2000s.
Awesome. So when was it that you decided you wanted to become a yoga teacher?
I think the more that I practice, the more that I, go into classes. I'm a nurse, and the taking care of people thing, I think.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, certain teachers inspired me, and I just thought I can do this, and I would like to do it. So.
I actually didn't know that you were a nurse. Yeah. What kind of nurse are you?
I work in the OR.
Oh, okay.
So cardiac and vascular.
Yeah.
So it's quite different, and
yeah.
I do say that, that can be quite intense and, high stress, and so I need the yoga practice to kind of counteract that, and the teaching part kind of goes along with it.
Yeah, very cool. So what do you like about teaching yoga?
I like, when I was taking classes, that feeling at the end of class that you just kind of float out of class, and I love to bring that to anybody. It's a stressful time, especially now. I think there's so much going on in the world that people need yoga for relaxation, for mental health. So I like to bring that to people, to be able to share that.
Yeah.
Breathing, I like to incorporate pranayama and share different things that people can do on their own.
Yeah, that's great. All right, anything else you want to share with me or us, whoever's watching, about yoga?
I don't think so. I'm just interested. I did my 200-hour teaching and knew then that was just the beginning. There's so much. I've heard recently somebody explaining the 200-hour as a broad teaching. It covers a lot of things, so there's lots of things that you can focus on within that. And then some people do go on and do more study, whether it's 300 hours, but there's so many other things, the yin practice, the trauma-informed teachings, yoga nidra. They're all little pieces that, that I've explored some of them, and I want to keep on learning.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So shout out for Lesley. She teaches every Sunday at 8 a.m. Slow flow yoga. And then you have that workshop coming up for yoga nidra, right? Is that the day after Thanksgiving?
It's the Friday, yes, the day after Thanksgiving. It's a detox yoga nidra practice that I think people